fat friend, Rush Limbaugh. Good morning, Rush.
My friends, it is I, the Tony Titan of Truth, reminding you that the views and opinions expressed by this hidebound round mound of sound are irrefutably flawless. This just in, Bubba calls Dee regarding her DUI. Ms. Myers says the president made her laugh. To which I can only add, madam, he does the same for me every day. Read my conservative colleague's newest tome over the weekend, To Renewt America, where basically he restates everything I've been saying here for the last 5 years. But it's a good message and bears repeating. Life sucks, and it's the liberals' fault. Case in point, the Clinton presidency. The Democrats' version of a Benetton ad. A modern Shakespearean tragedy. The fall of Saigon now is the summer of our discontent, as Bubba normalizes relations with Vietnam. That sound you hear is all 2,202 unaccounted for American voices screaming in unison, "Are you out of your mind?" 20 years after we left desperate Vietnamese hanging off the rope ladders on the last helicopters out, Bubba decides to let Saigons be bygones. What bothers me is how easy it was for him to do, with the help of that Senator Benedict Arnold, John McClain. All Clinton had to do was yell, "Hey, Lieutenant Commander, I'm finally going to Vietnam. Cover me." Of course, the old pinko lady, the New York Times, in a recent editorial, approves as well, stating that the president's decision to establish the new Vietnamese policy, quote, no longer bars the way to a productive relationship with Hanoi. Well, what exactly is a productive relationship with Hanoi? We going to be exporting software disks for America Online, or start importing dog meat? I suppose this means we'll need to appoint a new trade ambassador. Let's see, dog meat, Hanoi. Hey, how about Jane Fonda? She's familiar with the territory. Maybe her hubby Teddy can uplink a new cable channel out of Da Nang. I, for one, would love to watch the Beverly Hillbillies dubbed in Vietnamese. Of course, Gaylord Ravanaugh Turner will have to support the new V-chip technology, now that Bubba wants to put the responsibility for what children watch in the hands of parents using this new digital capability. When there's already an electrical device that does the job just as well, it's called the off button. How do you suppose you'll get folks to program a V-chip when half of them out there can't get their VCR clocks to stop blinking 12 o'clock? Coming up, French-kissing Barbara Boxer, Bob Packwood tells all. More after this. Bubba, you're a liberal pedophile. How the Senate wouldn't get behind your health care plan. You got egg on your face, a big disgrace, but you can't resuscitate a terminal case. EIB will mock you. EIB will mock you. Bubba, you're a Romeo, gigolo, Lothario, pulling down your trousers in hotel rooms. You got a leer on your face. You can't erase till Harry puts your little Willie into his place. She will rock you. She will knock you. Bubba, you're a pant load, alamo, gonna have to use an airbag for a shirt someday. Wipe that boot off your face. Give up the race. Bob Dola's gonna kick your butt all over the place. GOP will shock you. GOP will shock you. Sing it. GOP will shock you. Everybody. GOP will shock you.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from his monstrosity. Imus in the morning.
Wouldn't it be 2020 sports? And it's a high fly ball hit deep to left field, way back near the ivy, maybe, and it's gone. Darryl Strawberry, a two-run homer.
More problems for Darryl Strawberry. Good morning. Mike Brain with sports. Strawberry's comeback hit a snag yesterday as the controversial slugger had a run-in with a reporter. Happened at practice with the Columbus Clippers. Darryl was taking batting practice when the reporter would not take no for an answer.
Excuse me, Mr. Strawberry?
we ask you a few questions? Darryl, just take a minute. Just a couple of questions, please. Come on, Darryl, please. I'm just trying to do my job. Hey, Darryl. Come on, give me a break. I just need 1 minute. That's all. Come on, you jerk. One question. Hey, you white beat druggie. She didn't any taxes lately? Hey, Darryl, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
No punches were thrown in the incident. Potentially ugly situation was avoided, but Strawberry's going to have to deal with this with every city he goes to.
Who was that reporter?
We didn't get his name.
Get his name.
Local reporter from Columbus,
What
Ohio.
reporter was that? What was that reporter's name?
I don't have his
Why
name.
did it sound like you?
I don't sound like that, like a geek like that.
Oh, okay.
The real Yankees were back in action yesterday, and they won. Beat the Royals 9-1 in the Bronx. Meanwhile, the Braves' 9-game winning streak came to an end. Atlanta losing in Pittsburgh 2-1. Braves third baseman Chipper Jones blamed it on the rough life of a major leaguer.
We had kind of an unusual schedule with waking up early and having to fly and then having to play and, look forward to another flight tonight. It's,
Sure.
Plus the extreme heat made it hard to get up to play.
No, Jesus, God, well, get a real job, you nitwit. How much do you love Dan Rather? How much do I love Dan Rather?
Yeah.
He's a man's man.
Something about him talking about REM makes me a little queasy.
Oh, that'd make me nervous, too, yeah.
Seeing him sitting at home with the headphones on, groove at the hole,
Hey, what was that song what was the song you left? What's this guy's name? Terry Allen?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Terry
please.
Allen.
If Jesus came to your house to spend a day or two, if he came without warning, I wonder what you'd do. Imus in the morning.
Well, the great Red Sylvine. Jim Smith, my brother, Fred Imus. Good morning, Fred. Hey, Paul Begala wants a work shirt.
Okay, I can't, I got people backed up. I got orders backed up, so I can't do it for just a little bit.
Yeah, let him wait.
We have to go in order on these because...
Don't wait too long. They may not be there very much.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Kathleen Sullivan is here. We already like her attitude. She has
Yeah.
a great attitude, sure.
Now, why is age important as far as relationships?
Why is it important to me?
Yeah.
I don't want to hold somebody on my shoulders for 3 hours at a Pro Jam concert. I'm just not into that.
Now, 12 years from now,
Yeah.
she's what, 41, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's putting you in a home.
Or in the hole.
Preferably.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The newly...
Continuing his mission to regain political viability, here is the billionaire industrialist and founder of United We Stand, H. Ross Perot.
Amos, we're almost a whole 15 months away from election 96, yet we already got more presidential hopefuls online begging for campaign funds than there are bimbo skeletons in Bill Clinton's closet. And you know why? Because that Arkansas hayseed has made it painfully clear to the American people that anybody, I mean anybody, can be president of the United States. You know how many folks have filed papers with the Federal Election Commission so far, Amos? No. Upwards of 140 last time I checked. You know what kind of people they are? No. A bunch of mouth-breathing losers whose mental stability is about as sound as a swamp boat made of screen doors. Whack jobs who couldn't even hire on at the post office. I'm talking certified nutlogs, Amos, like this independent Frank Starr from Arizona calls himself the political Christ. Not exactly a catchy campaign slogan, is it? Can't see that one as a bumper sticker. But he ain't anywhere near as bad as this Democrat Ray Buttercup Rollinson. He not only wants his campaign donations sent directly to him, his foreign policy has Japan paying $88 billion a year for U.S. defense in advance. This guy hadn't just seen Elvis. He's this close to naming the king as his running mate. Not that I should talk about running mates, but hell, even Admiral Stockdale had the presence of mind to admit he didn't know who he was or what he was doing. You know what the worst part about all this is, Amos? No. These cheese-brain candidates actually have a shot. You know why? 2 words. The Republican Party. They got Bill Bennett using the F word to describe Pat Buchanan, as though fascism was one of the virtues in that highfalutin book of his. They got D'Amato and Pataki doing everything but coming up with a secret password for the New York primary to keep everybody but Bob Dole out. They're falling all over each other to condemn rap music. Hell, Amos, they can't even get themselves together. How are they going to do it for the country?
I'm telling you right now, if Dole don't make peace with Tupac Shakur, we may very well end up with a guy who takes campaign advice from his dog in the White House. You know why I'm hotter than a bullfrog's butt at a barbecue over this, Amos? Because they're all stealing my act. I had the paranoid schizophrenic thing back in '92. I was right there under the Viennese table, checking the dais, grilling the caterer, looking for lesbians in the wedding party. It's just sad that the American people are being forced to make a choice between the lesser of three evils, Amos. And so if they're going to vote the mental defective ticket by default, they might as well vote for me. So, folks, if you think the Democrats are sneaky and the GOP's lazy, vote for Ross, Hoss. He's always been crazy. Stick that onto a sampler and hang it somewhere in that Autobody Express catalog of yours, Amos. And once again, much obliged for having me on your show. Womp, bam, boom, bam, bam, boom.
Imus in the morning.
Ballot.
To be or not to be?
2020 sports.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and grounded, and through the right side for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Kelly. He'll score.
Yankees mug the Royals in the Bronx. Why are we opening without... Go ahead.
With a stiff.
No, you've got a question on your mind? Come with it.
No,
I'll give you an honest answer.
No, it's just
I'm not afraid of you.
Well, I know that, but I mean... I just wonder why we're opening with...
A baseball game. Maybe because it's baseball season.
Well, I hate baseball, and everybody else does. So.
There's nothing else to report.
I understand that.
Some hockey.
Yankees mug the Royals in the Bronx. Fordham grad Michael Kay with the call on the Yankees radio network. The cut was played by Fordham grad Lou Ruffino, the engineer. Yankees beat the Royals 9-1.
I'm a Fordham grad, Mike Breed.
The key hit, a 3-run homer from Russ Davis, who was ecstatic about his heroic home run.
I just, I left it up over the plate, and I was able to get the bat head out and, get it up in the air. It was a good feeling though for me.
Just bubbling with enthusiasm. On the losing end last night, Braves beaten by the Pirates. Atlanta catcher Javier Lopez says he has to put the loss behind him.
It happened. I gotta forget about what happened today.
Well, yes, you do.
Are we having fun or what?
I feel tired right now.
Braves' 9-game winning streak comes to an end.
Yo, watch your wallet.
The Oakland A's won, and the winning pitcher was Todd Stottlemyre, who needed a victory desperately. In his last outing before the All-Star break, Stottlemyre lost the game, then lost his composure when a reporter asked him this question.
Did that pitch to Vaughn have an effect on the pitch that you threw to off then with the bases loaded? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to talk about every time? What, I lose my cool one time? We're going to talk about it? Huh? Is that what we're going to do? That's not one pitch, all right? I lost my cool. We're going to talk about it? Huh? I bust my ass out there.
That was a chair being thrown in the locker room.
Sounds like Fred's first marriage.
Sounds like the daily 10 o'clock production meeting.
I miss in the morning office.
Stottlemyre losing his cool yesterday or last week before the All-Star.
Whatever it was.
Doesn't really matter.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Darryl Strawberry, still playing in the minor leagues, hopes to be called up to the Yankees Major League Club soon.
You know, World War II, back during the 40s or whenever it was.
Strawberry hit for the cycle yesterday, hit a single, double, triple, and his wife.
That's just not. Don't laugh at him because it's just not. It's pathetic.
The Pittsburgh Pirates mascot has been suspended for having sex with a woman in a public pool. The new Pirates mascot is a buccaneer. That's his design that he wears, but he was charged with open lewdness when police found him in the Pittsburgh pool. After learning of the arrest, the mascot was suspended without pay.
He'd be on Larry King tonight. But he'd be kissing his butt. What a good guy he is.
Yeah.
So the buck was bucking around, huh?
And Tommy Hearns' proposed fight this weekend has been canceled. The 36-year-old former champion was scheduled with a 10-round cruiserweight bout in Detroit, but he had a rib cage injury, so he hopes to fight in about 2 weeks from now.
That's what he needs to be, is hit about once more. He doesn't know his name now.
He's actually hoping to become the heavyweight champion of the world. He's
Get up and do.
All right, now here on the Imus in the Morning program, let's talk to the former heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson. Good morning, champ.
Morning, Mr. Chomp.
Don't do that.
What's all this I hear about people complaining that OJ getting preferential treatment in the joint?
Yeah?
They think letting them take a shower every day is preferential? Let me tell you something. You in the joint, the shower is the last place you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything, it's preferential treatment for the other inmates. Hey, Goose, pick up that soap for me, would you? I'm going to stand behind you and take the snap.
That'll be fine.
Hey, what'd you think of the 104th Congress?
Well?
You know, I'm afraid I'm turning it to you, because I actually watched some of the first day. I'm very interested in the way a our system works, seeing as I've been part of it for the past few years.
Yeah.
And you know what I think?
No.
Too many white people. I don't count Gary Franks and J.C. Watts. They may look like African Americans, but they whiter than you. Anyway, I was watching Newt Gingrich because I wanted to see that nasty talking mama of his, and he had his whole family there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He shouldn't be calling Hillary Clinton names when he got a wife like that. Oh, that's one ugly white woman. She looked like a female impersonator. Pig-eyed, shovel-head, gums like bucket seats, little nubby chiclet teeth. Damn. You know what?
No.
I bet you his mama don't even let her in the house. Woman ugly as that scared the dog. Hatchet-faced hoe.
Fine.
And them kids? No wonder he wants to set up orphanages. I had kids like that. I'd try and kinder dump them in the park. I feel bad for Newt's mama, though. It reminds me of like that time when O.J.'s mama was on TV with that big empty cake hole she got under her nose.
Yeah.
Here are these people going around, mind their own business, and just because their son becomes famous, they get thrust in the public eye, too. And although they first get famous based on their relationship with their sons, all anybody's going to remember about Kathleen Gingrich is she the woman who whispered a bad word to Connie Chung, and O.J.'s mama was the bitch that ain't got no teeth.
Good morning, Gene.
What's up, Imus?
You're up, baby.
I have been trying to reach you for so long about O.J. They might as well give O.J. his walking papers right now, Imus.
Amen.
Black folks sure ain't gonna believe nothing about no DNA. DNA, PCR, you know, you have to have LSD to figure that stuff out.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You got 8 black women on that jury. Ain't no way in the world, honey. He could be sitting on the witness stand with the knife still stuck in his hand.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Mickey Mantle and think you blew it, should you?
No, it's pretty sad.
Role model. This is a role model. Don't be like me. Everybody want a banana daiquiris? Ever since they gave me this monkey liver, I got this craving for banana daiquiris.
I don't think
Look, I can drink it with my feet. Look. I'm not a role model.
No,
I
you're-
just play one on TV.
No, you're not, Mickey. You're
Daryl Strawberry, that's the role model.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I didn't reject the liver. I love liver.
I'm sorry.
Little bacon, some sauteed onions.
I feel sorry for Mickey, though, don't you?
Doing better than Billy Martin.
Yes, he is.
That's who I feel sorry for.
Yes, he's doing better. He's doing better than Wolfman, too, isn't he?
Have mercy.
Wolfman's doing better than we're doing right now.
You know, as much...
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
They can't drive.
My man read a article in a San Jose paper, guy whining that there's no local rock and roll morning show so he can find out where Jimmy Page and Robert Plant partied the night before.
Shut up. Knowing the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round. They gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone.
Imus in the morning. Have more fun in bed. Have more fun in bed. Call 1-800-SLEEPIES and have more fun in bed.
Well, what a great idea. Get yourself a new mattress.
Infinity Broadcasting, all rights reserved. Imus in the morning is a presentation of WFAN and the Westwood One Radio Network. It's just sad.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule, an indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled this station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
For sports scores and sports news, it's WFAN 2020 Sports at the top of the hour, 20 past the hour, and 20 before the hour. That's 2020 sports all day, every day on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York. WFAN 2020 sports.
It's 10 o'clock. Good morning. This is Mike Breen. Happening. I'm Mike Breen, WFAN 2020 Sports, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Well, morning to you, and how you be at 10:04 and 15 seconds on a Thursday morning on the Fan, New York City. Steve Summers here, you there. Jeff Hughes, Eddie Scazzeri on the other side of the glass.
Eddie Scazzeri?
No, Eddie Cantor. Who do you think we're talking? 718-937-6666. Number to call as we begin now. A morning schmooze until Mike and the Angry Puppy at 1 o'clock right here on your Fan, New York City. And we'll talk about the soon to come down to the Edifice Complex, and it was going to be so much fun for them in Tennessee. And, of course, at the Edifice Complex, when that is finalized, you'll be able to marry your cousin between periods. Anyway, thank you all for listening and calling the whole thing. Stick around for Mike and the Mad Dog right here on your Fan, New York City. See you tomorrow at 10.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
I'm Ted, and this is my reports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on a Fan, 13th day of July, 1995. A Thursday in New York. Good to have you with us. Jeff Hughes, Robert W. Gelb across the way, 718-937-6666. Lots to talk about. The Devils scenario. Mike and I are going to throw a lot of cold water on that in the next 10 minutes, I can guarantee you. The Yankees and Billy Connors would have you. Good afternoon, Mike, and how are you?
Well, George is up to his old tricks. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes.
Andy Rooney this week has been ruminating about the decline and fall of Western civilization. Andy?
That may seem a little strong, the decline and fall of Western civilization.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe not, if you'll hear me out for a moment.
All right.
Because here we go again. Denver, Colorado, Rochester, New York, added to the lengthening list of localities where the Imus in the Morning radio program is now broadcast.
Right.
And it got me to thinking that I might perform a service here by telling you some of the things you're in for, so you can make an early decision whether you really want to try to stomach this stuff or do something else during this time period. Anything else. Like sticking your tongue in a light socket for 4 hours. Remember standards? Well, forget them.
Yeah.
2 more urban populations are hereby about to be regaled daily with an array of unpleasantness.
Yeah.
Boners, breasts, lung operations, the DTs, numbing sermons on pulse rates, running, maddening rants about the hardships of life as a limo-liberal,
Yeah.
and a program host who zigzags between political correctness and incorrectness at the speed of light,
Yeah.
without so much as a wave in conviction or consistency. A f***ing fool.
Oh, thank you.
And then there are the guests.
Yeah.
Seemingly interminable conversations between Imus and a bizarre pack of politicos and pundits who've been duped into believing this program is influential somehow.
Yeah.
Look for a minute at some of the frequent Imus guests I've gathered on my desk here.
Okay.
Bill Clinton, fat guy out of Arkansas, who's on a mission to grind your wallet into oatmeal. Here, Bubba, have another Snickers bar. Here's Bill Bradley, tall guy out of New Jersey. Wait till you hear him. Senator Somonex. This is Al D'Amato, bald guy out of New York, and our equivalent of the fellow in your city who stands in the middle of intersections and screams at the car. And then we have the intelligentsia.
Yeah.
I won't say this is torture, but it is being investigated by the United Nations Commission on Human Rights. First up, this is Jeff Greenfield, who only looks like he's been stung by a colony of bees. You see him a lot on ABC. Thumbnail sketch.
Yeah.
Tries too hard, drifts into cutesisms, has far less depth than at first it seems he has, covers it well. This one's Roger Ailes. Went from so-so spin doctor to producer of the Rush Limbaugh Show. You get the idea there's a windshield squeegee somewhere in Roger's future? I do. Last but not least, down here on the far left, I see, is Anna Quinlan. Writes a household tips column for the New York Times. And, clever gal, made her own Jell-O mold for a dead-on replica of a Pulitzer Prize. Make mine lemon flavor. All right, sugar? Time won't permit me to introduce you to all the others, but they share the same characteristics, all having graduated from Yale, it seems, and the school of the deadly drone. Another thing you'll hear, to the point of distraction, is a little promotional announcement that goes along the lines of, if your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning. Yeah. Trust me, if your radio sounds funny in the morning, it'll only be because the speaker is shot, as the host of this program ought to be, as I think about it. Yeah. Oops, that could be a little sensitive there in Denver, I suppose.
And now the end is near. Yeah. It might be time to just retire. My friends, they all steer clear. They're all afraid I might expire. But now my pants are full, and so I say, not in a shy way, I'll go. I'll say goodbye. I'll hit the highway. Good. Duets, I did a few. I even sang with that guy Bono. He said the curse with F. I was impressed, 'cause he's a homo. My songs, I know them well, the words by heart. Something about doing it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, without my teeth I could not chew. But through it all, though aging sucks, I still command the big time bucks. I gotta call my tailor Saul. He don't work Friday. I did all I could do. I did it all. It was amusing. Yeah. But now when I wake up, I find it all so confusing. Sometimes I'll take a drive, then take a nap right on the highway. So you, there in your car, get out of my way. But what is a man supposed to do when he is done before he's through? And though he has a lot of spunk, that Harry Connick is just a punk. His records show he really blows. Can't do it my way.
Hey, Frank. Frankie, kid, what's the matter here? You got another show to do, Frank. Right on. Get the car.
Figure skater Tanya Harding in the news again. Harding has told Portland police she's being stalked by pro golfers. Whoa. Harding claims a couple of pro golfers have been following her, driving up and down her block. Although she wouldn't name names, and Imus in the Morning sources told me that it's Jack Nicholas, who allegedly fell in love with Harding after seeing her photo spread in Penthouse magazine a while ago.
You're an idiot.
The LPGA, probably.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
As for Dennis Rodman, a new hair color last night, bright orange.
He looked like a cheese doodle on top.
Crying out loud. In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Fred's from Santa Fe with this guy from the Santa Fe magazine, and what could be interesting or it could be just tedious is what it could be.
Well, made me raise an eyebrow, made my head spin. Can't picture it and rather dig in R.E.M. Hey, I'm a king of rock and roll here, son.
All right.
I'm gonna have to assume my hearing ain't quite right, seeing as how I'm still dead and all, but that wasn't our favorite CBS anchor doing the news on your program the other day, was it?
Yes.
Damn. What is the frequency, Kenneth? I guess that whole licky deal with Chung Queen just made him full-tilt bozo if he's been reduced to doing your show. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that Johnny Cochran fella called Rather as a defense witness, because old Dan definitely hears dogs barking, you know what I mean? I know this may be somewhat of a surprise coming from a man who used to eat fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches covered in sausage gravy, but he makes me feel queasy, man. It's one thing to have an R.E.M. song dedicated to you. It's another to start talking about how much better you like the ones on their other albums. You know, somehow I have difficulty picturing Rather sitting in a lotus position on a tatami mat, incense and lava lamp cranking, smoking a doober and listening to Radio Free Europe. You know what I mean? But then again, I have difficulty picturing my little daughter between the sheets with a high yellow hermaphrodite. You know, Dan's a perfect illustration of how you don't necessarily have to do drugs to act like you're on drugs. Although he did make some mention about chewing tobacco, didn't he?
Yeah.
And from what I understand, the FDA is thinking about a move on nicotine. I'd be in favor of that, son. Because then I can finally say there was at least one regulated substance I didn't abuse. Hey, you don't think this new development's going to rattle that fat-faced geek Jesse Helms' cage, do you? There's a guy who'd like to take the Surgeon General's warning off of cigarette packs because it scares little kids. He'd have tobacco leaves put on the salad bar at Denny's if he could. Now, I can't see him getting behind any White House measure that would make you get a prescription before taking a ride with the Marlboro man. Could you? In fact, I got a little song for Jesse to get out of here on. Go something like this. Well, king-size menthol will fill the tips. Senator Helms, hey, puff on this, let's smoke. Everybody, let's smoke. Everybody come and take a toke. I got something here to make you choke.
Dan Rather from the CBS Evening News is here this morning to fill in for Charles. How great is that? Where did you go to school?
Well, I went to John H. Reagan High School on the outskirts of Houston, the Houston Heights, and then I went to Sam Houston State Teachers College in Huntsville, Texas. I was both on the football and basketball team. Might interest you on the basketball team. I played get back. Most basketball teams don't have this, but you know, when they call timeout and everybody stand up and get around the coach all looked at me and said, "Get back on the bench, get back."
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Do you care if I talk to you during the news? I mean, like you do.
No, glad to. You know, I was just
It's not like a co-anchor thing. I'm not going to go through that again.
Believe me, I don't want to go through it again either. Believe me. You can take that to the bank, coach.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Already this summer. In the morning, 2020 Sports rolls on. Knocks it up right back. He wanted to credit those who helped.
We had some big heroes, trying to remember who did what.
Some short-term memory loss for Dallas. There's 9 people he has to keep track of. And, Jesus, come on, Coach.
Other games last night, the Yankees tweaked the Twins 7-2 out in the Bronx, and the Red Sox lost. So the Red Sox lead now, getting slimmer and slimmer with every day. Yankees only 6.5 games out of first. What a surprise it would be if the Red Sox faded and failed to win the World Series. Tennis news, Steffi Graf is rip-roaring mad at
Boy, champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson. Good morning, champ.
Morning, Mr. Trump.
Do that.
Hey, Brother Ali wanted me to ask you if you thought he might be an example of conditioned response. You know, like Pavlov's dogs?
Right.
Because he hears bells and salivates all the time.
Shut up.
Hey, what do you think about all this controversy over the Miss America swimsuit competition?
Well,
my lawyer says I shouldn't make statements about any kind of beauty pageants for obvious reasons.
Good idea.
But I'll tell you something right now, Mr. Trump. September 16th, I'm right there in front of the TV with my I'm Mr. Dinky in one hand and telephone in the other. I'm gonna melt them phone lines calling that 900 number.
Yeah.
What do these people think we watch the Miss America pageant for in the first place? The talent contest? How many times can you see Miss Kansas do an interpretive dance to the Rocky theme or Miss Utah recite the Declaration of Independence while twirling a baton? Please. They think it's demeaning to women to have them walk around in bathing suits? Have them all write essays instead, see how many people watch it. Well, guess I'll be hearing from my lawyer about that one, huh? Hey, speaking of which, you know what I'm happy about?
No.
I didn't have Johnny Cochran representing me. I did bad enough without having anybody like him picking defense witnesses. This guy, Robert Heistra, says he saw a white truck look like a Bronco. How soon before the prosecution gets the autograph guy to say that O.J. signed peace to you with a bloody knife? Jeez, with a defense team like this, who needs a DA? And how ludicrous is it that Cochran is calling Darden a racist? What's Johnny gonna say next? Carl Douglas got a face like the backside of a Crunch bar? Of course there's a difference between the way black people and white people talk. I think Johnny better act himself or he really getting the whole picture here. Why else you think I make it so bad when white people be trying to talk like us? Brother be fronting like that, he be cold open to the strips. Know what I mean, B? Like when a white man try and use the word stupid like a brother, it just sounds stupid. And not like a black man neither. Except for Brother Ali. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. My problem is somewhat clear. Make me want to grab some rear. Thank you for showing me a behind that's fine and a butt that's sweet. Feels good, the ladies got him. A stupid dope champ going fishing for a bottom. And I'm known and such, and this is the thing that they say I can't touch. I told you, homeboy. Can't touch it. Cost $100 million and you know can't touch it. Look at that. Man, can't touch it. Let me just pinch an inch. Can't touch it. In the ring, I dance, but I like it best what you got in a pants. So move. Give me a beat. Find a fly girl and follow her seat. While she's walking, hold on. Grab a little bit, let them know what's going on like that. Like that. Build up bridges, give me a heart attack. Baby, this boogie too much, but no buts about it, it's a butt I can't touch. Yo, wanna bump a rump? Can't touch it. Why you standing there like that? Can't touch it. Yo, bang the gavel, court's in session. Give me a judge or sentence, making a case for my repentance now. They write, they talk about Tyson, they talk about a fighter that's big and gentle, even if he's just a little bit mental, they say. It's queer, but life's a parade, and I'm bringing up the rear, you know. About Ruddock, he's another one wanna grab them buttocks. That's the word, 'cause you know, can't touch this. I'm serious. Kick it down. Can't touch this. Break it down. Oh, I gotta resist the temptation. But they keep turning the other cheek. I can do it. I can just walk away. Come on, champ, maintain. Uh-oh. Stop. Honey time. Look at that. I mean, call my lawyer.
That'll be it now.
I'm going for broke.
All right, here now the Imus Morning Program. Pat Cooper. Good morning, Mr. Cooper.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, can't complain. Thank you.
Hey, what'd you make of Tony Bennett, man? This big MTV deal.
Well, it's wonderful. You know, Tony's lonely and he needs that. You know, he could be 90 years old and they give 90 million more. He loves that. All of a sudden, Tony Bennett wants to become MTV, ABCD. You're an old guy already. Lay back. Give somebody else a chance. No wonder the kids can't become stars. These old guys still want to sing. Henny Youngman, I love him dearly. He's standing on air. It's over. Finish. Where the hell are you going?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
I tell them, it's over. You were big in 50 or big in 60. Leave it alone. Let the new babies come along. Let them drink their milk. No, they want to jump in the cradle with the kids. They want to destroy everything. Go home and lay down for a couple of days.
Imus in the morning.
Wouldn't it be great to finish the day with
The morning
Now, comment and observation on headline issues of the day with Imus and Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Yes, sir, right you are. I've logged out permanently. I miss in the morning. Logged out, but still very much online, in a manner of speaking, if I do say so myself. Say, speaking of back from the dead, I was fascinated to hear the Right Reverend Dr. Billy Saul Hargis on your program the other day. Paid his debt to society, I assume. Huh? What was it? Tried to kidnap some young blonde, 30 years his junior? Never mind. Good. Anyway, issue 1 today. What's got 4 inner tubes, a dozen empty milk jugs, a styrofoam minnow bucket, and a broomstick with a shower curtain on.
I don't know.
A Cuban cruise ship. Pardon me for asking, Dono, but who was Clinton's big hero? Kennedy or Carter, for crying out loud? Before we have to designate the state of Florida as a branch office of Haiti and Havana, I say a couple of thoughtfully placed cruise missiles just might enhance our negotiating position with Mr. Castro. I'm a little tired, Dono, of every damn Caribbean food dude who's been deceived by a despot, deciding that this country is their designated daycare center. Memo to disaffected Cubans and Haitians and the rest. Change your own darn country. Yeah. We already did this one in 1776. Comprende? Issue 2, J.D. President Clinton, much like you, back from vacation and raring to go, according to his fast-feeding spokesperson, D.D. Myers, who now has the life expectancy of a fly, if I read Leon Panetta correctly. Anyway, after seeing the president there at Martha's Vineyard, I'm wondering how they got him back to Washington. In a dolphin sling? Spraying water on him to keep his skin wet and all that? No wonder he wants to reform health care, because his liposuctionist told him that obesity, in his case, would be ruled a pre-existing condition. Much like his wife, as I think about it.
It'll be fine.
Issue 3, crime bill, I'm at. And thank God, eh? Who knows how many people those two mutants would have killed out there in the West if they hadn't known that the president was going to sign that doggone crime bill next week, eh?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I sure rest more easily knowing that they had to wait 5 days before they were able to get hold of half the Remington Arms Company that they had with them, huh? A real comfort. Well. Okay, what else before time expires? I guess just a couple of quick asides, if I may. First, good to see, judging from the appearance of Brooke Shields cheering on Andre Agassi at the U.S. Open, that the food at the tournament must not be all that expensive, as it's clear that Miss Shields has been enjoying the cheeseburger IV drip special. Gee gosh, what happened to her? Well, she's got a can the size of a casino. And that's an unflinching, even harsh look through the Dickscope today, Donald, but necessary. And so, hoping someone kicks the crutch out from under Al Gore, I remain yours truly, Dick Nixon, a late former president of the United States of America.
So I got a package of CDs together. I'll dump her to Clinton, send them over to Dan Rather. Told him to take note of this one.
Here comes the weekend, honey. What's going on? Do we put our feet up, honey? Party all night long, oh, baby. Whatever. I'm with you. Are we staying home? Are we going downtown? Are we dressing up, baby? I'm dressing down. Oh,
Clinton. I'm with you. Come to Weekend, baby. It's available on Delbert's CD entitled I'm With You, which you can pick up at the record company. I mean, at the record store. Almost anywhere. You can get it at the music station there in Sioux City.
People grinning in your face. Don't mind people grinning in your face. You just bear this in mind. A true friend is hard to find.
Imus in the morning.
All right, let me talk. I call my best friend on earth a son of a bitch.
I just simply tell them that I deal daily with Lucifer.
Well, that's just not true.
I don't cross the Hudson. I cross the river Styx.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
There's a bookstore here in New York who placed God's Other Son, which is a novel, in the non-fiction section, and I can see why. I am a godlike figure. I see an analogy that could be accurately drawn between the life I've led and the one led by Jesus.
Been around for 2,000 years.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get gone. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me?
Imus in the morning.
That's what you say each time I hold you this way.
Imus in the morning.
I could have sung with the Jordanaires.
Hey, Bubba, what are you doing?
I'm establishing my...
Beavis and Bubba here on the Imus in the Morning program. It's about 5 of the hour. Well, we'll check with Fred, see how things are going with Glenn Hunter from the Santa Fe magazine.
We've been together way back when. Sometimes I never want to see you again. But I want you to know, after all these years, you're still the one I want whispering in my ear. You're still the one I want to talk to in bed. Still the one that turns my head. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
Imus in the morning.
Minutes after the hour.
All right, here now on the Imus in the Morning program, my fat friend, Rush Limbaugh.
Brother, you're a liberal pedophile. How the Senate wouldn't get behind your health care plan. You got egg on your face, a big disgrace, but you can't resuscitate a terminal case. EIB will mock you. EIB will mock you. Mama, you're a Romeo, gigolo, Lothario, pulling down your trousers in hotel rooms. You got a leer on your face. You can't erase till Harry put your little Willie into his place. She will rock you. She will knock you. Mama, you're a pant load, Alamo, gonna have to use an airbag for a shirt someday. Wipe that boot off your face. Give up the race. Bob Dola's gonna kick your butt all over the place. GOP will shock you. GOP will shock you. Sing it. GOP will shock you. Everybody. GOP will shock you.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very
See, we used to work freight trains out of L.A. and we take them up to Bakersfield.
Right, get drunk, we know.
Go over there and see Merle and Buck and all that.
Merle and Buck. Yeah, you know, they were just in concert here not too long ago.
Did you go to that?
No, I missed it. But I did hear you on the radio talking about it.
Yeah. Well, what do you want?
Well, I just called to tell you that I read your book.
God's Other Son.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Thank you.
In the morning. Good morning. 20 sports.
Knocks it up right back to Jeff Nelson. Lets it drop. They have a chance for a triple play. Throw to Soho. Tagging the runner there. Throw to first base. The runner's out. They're going to tag the runner first. Gonzalez. It's a triple play. Holy smoke.
Baseball is back. Good morning. Mike Brain with sports. Rick Riz with the call on the Mariners' triple play in last night's loss to the Blue Jays. There were other games. Red Sox begin their second half with a loss, 9-8 to the Rangers. Of course, this will not start the annual fade. This year, it'll be different. Colorado Rockies lost to the Mets in New York. Winning pitcher was Bobby Jones.
It goes back to the lack of getting the fastball over and falling behind. I mean, I just tried to throw a lot of...
Time out. Enough of that. I am not interested in you disparaging my Boston Red Sox. We don't need that.
I'm not interested in you interrupting me.
Well?
Why'd you do that to the cut?
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Can we play it again?
Well, sure.
I'm ready, Mike.
I'm sorry I did it.
It's Bobby Jones of the Mets.
It goes back to the lack of getting the fastball over and falling behind. I mean, I just tried to throw a lot of fastballs as get-over pitches, 3-0, and I couldn't even get them over. And it was just one of those rare days where I didn't have the touch and feel that I should have.
Oh, man, I'm glad I stopped that cut. Well, what's the matter now?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Maybe he had a snappy comeback at the end of the cut. I imagine.
Oh, that was probably. Well, that was it, right?
No snappy comeback. It was just a cut.
No, certainly not now. My brother wants to talk to you. What do you want, Fred?
Who am I talking to?
Brain.
Brain.
No.
Hey, Brain.
What?
Why don't you ever do anything about NASCAR, Winston Cup racing? You guys on our sports station, a bunch of chumps doing a bunch of stickball stuff that nobody gives a damn about. We want some good old boys in them Monte Carlos want to hear about this Winston Cup. How come we don't do that?
That's a fine suggestion, Fred. I'll do it from now on.
Yeah.
Now, please get off the phone.
There's more racing fans, auto racing fans in this country than there ever was basketball or baseball fans.
Fred, that's an excellent point. From now
You're
on...
get 400,000 people to watch the Knicks play?
Shut up, Fred. I said you were right.
How about 4 people to see the Knicks?
Fred.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Well, why don't you do more of it? You're really torquing me off, and you're one of my favorite sports people.
Fred, I agree with you. Now go back
one
to
of my
kissing the
idols,
ass of that author.
I listen to your sports broadcast every day because I'm such a big fan.
Now I understand why you get so mad at him every time you talk to him. He doesn't listen to what you say.
Absolutely not.
Shut up for 1 second.
I think Brain is lashing out at you.
Fred, your brother has every right to
hang around something.
There he goes again. The second you start talking, and there he goes. Whoa, hang up on him, Whoa, please. Holy mackerel.
Well, I'm telling you.
That's unbelievable.
Hey, why don't Brain hang around? Maybe he can meet a white woman.
Why don't you get off of the phone, Fred? God, I'm begging you. Just hang up.
What? No, I can't. I'll tell you I can't hang up. I'll tell you why I can't hang up.
Why can't you hang up?
Because they want to take some photos of me talking on the phone.
Well, just pretend.
And they don't know. The photo's not going to indicate that I have nothing. But it'll indicate that I am talking on the phone,
It'll indicate you have nothing on top of your head.
Why don't you call 911? Let them take a picture of you doing that.
Doing what?
Jesus. Mike Breen continues.
Yankees won 7-2 over the Twins in Minnesota. Manager Buck Showalter was pleased with the performance of pitcher Jack McDowell.
I think Jack's got a little better command of his fastball. And the curveball, when Jack's got the curveball to add to the split, it really makes him a more effective pitcher. And even though he may not throw for a strike just to get around the plate and plant a seed. But I think the command of his fastball has been better.
Yankees only 6.5 back now. As again, the loose atmosphere in their clubhouse. Well, we got a long way for that one, boy.
Oh, man.
Who cares about the Yankees?
I thought we told you to hang up.
How about Jeff Gordon? There's this guy. They've run 16 31 Winston Cup races, and he's won 5 of them.
Well,
why don't we talk about Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt?
Because we don't care about Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, but the rest of the country cares about Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt. Rusty Wallace.
just no hope, is there?
It's unbelievable. You guys are out of touch with what's going on around the country. You know, you're not just in New York.
Well, we know that.
You're in Tulsa and down south in Florida. Them are big racing fans down there. You better start filling that need, chump face.
Larry is calling from Manhattan. Into intangibles, and leadership, of course, is a part of that, and the defense. And there is no law against Don Mattingly hitting from now on until the end of the season 300 or better. 12:59 or 40 seconds on a Friday afternoon on the Fan, New York City. Thank you all for listening and for calling the whole thing. Stick around. Mike and the Angry Puppy, of course, coming your way at 1 here on your Fan, New York.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. It is 1 o'clock. I'm Joe Tollison. On WFAN, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
York.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good on, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on a Fan on a Friday in New York. Good to have you with us. 14th day of July, 1995. Jeff Hughes and Robert W. Gubb across the way on a very hot one indeed. Heat index over 100. 718-937-6666. That's your 2A Sports Talk telephone number as you chat about the world of sports right here until 6 o'clock. Good afternoon there, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine, Dog. Dog opens up with the weather forecast today, so a nice little touch on a July 14th. There she was, what she did, all she ever did her whole life was win.
Yep. Coming back, Mike, after 5.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
There's something really... Your children today, with all due respect, have no common sense. Where do you get off going to school with a telephone? I couldn't get a wire hanger when I went to school. These kids got telephones, they got beepers. No wonder the teacher goes, why are your kids stupid? They don't learn. They got that damn beeper. That's why your kids are stupid. Then they got the summer break, winter break, your break, my break. The kids don't go to school. Why is my kid stupid? Because he don't go to school, you jerk. And you mothers and fathers, don't take him on vacation. Leave him in the yard. Let him ferment for a couple of days.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You met Rob.
I love Rob Bartlett. You know something? I've been dying to see this gentleman because everywhere I work, I either bump it, miss him, and...
It's not that great.
What do you want me to do? He got the job. You
I understand that, but I mean...
I don't have a radio show that I got to turn around and say, I'm appearing on Imus. I got to thank God that Connie Francis is still breathing so I get a job.
Imus in the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Kramer, Mets baseball coming up after Paul.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Julia Free.
I keep on going, yes, I'll never know why life's been good
can't tell them apart. Think they're so progressive when they're all just big bleeding hearts. Tax the hard workers to give money to parasites that they never have to repay. Tell illegal aliens it's quite all right to be on welfare from cradle to grave. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Don't let them start programs for social reform. Be narrow-minded to those who don't conform. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause economy crunches with all their free lunches. They're giving the country away. Liberals like government handouts and hidden agendas. Like dropping trow in hotel rooms with girls of the night. They all feel guilty because they are so privileged and want to give it all up to the hopelessly needy. So if you don't want your young kids being left out, see that they stay to the right. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. They love homos and Negroes and Hebrews and such. They rob from the rich, think that we have too much. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause economy crunches with all their free lunches. They're giving the country away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Don't let them start programs for social reform. Be narrow-minded to those who don't conform. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be liberals. Cause Bubba and Hillary are both prime examples, and they're giving our country away.
Rush Limbaugh here on the Imus Morning program. This is WFAN in New York. Time for the news. And here with all that is I was just thinking.
Let me ask you a question. Your children today, with all due respect, have no common sense. Where do you get off going to school with a telephone? I couldn't get a wire hanger when I went to school. These kids got telephones, they got beepers. No wonder the teacher goes, why are your kids stupid? They don't learn. They got that damn beeper. That's why your kids are stupid. Then they got the summer break, winter break, your break, my break. The kids don't go to school. Why is my kid stupid? Because you don't go to school, you jerk. And you mothers and fathers, don't take them on vacation. Leave them in the yard. Let them ferment for a couple of days.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
You met Rob.
I love Rob Bartlett. You know something? I've been dying to see this gentleman because everywhere I work, I either bump it, miss him, and...
It's not that great.
What do you want me to do? He got the job. You
I understand that, but I mean...
I don't have a radio show that I got to turn around and say, I'm appearing on Imus. I got to thank God that Connie Francis is still breathing so I get a job.
Imus in the Morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Although I'm fully aware of my stature as bellwether of the Fellowship of Newsmen, this venerable old esteemed reporter has no problem admitting that there were times when even he has been unable to maintain his pristine journalistic objectivity. At various points throughout my exemplary career, there's been the rare occasion when I've allowed myself the indulgence of becoming emotionally affected by a story, as when I was moved to wipe away a joyful tear after the safe return of the astronauts of the ill-fated Apollo 13 mission. Well, Houston, we have another problem here, as I am compelled to succumb to yet another emotion, despair. Sadly, I must report there's been a pronounced drop-off on the nationally syndicated Imus in the Morning program in the absence of their news anchor, Charles McCord. Did I say pronounced drop-off? Yeah. I meant sharp decline. All right, it's been a bottomless free fall, the likes of which makes the north rim of the Grand Canyon look like a sidewalk curve.
verb. Indeed, anchor appears to be the operative word. For without McCord, Imus is a dinghy adrift in the whirlpool of a septic tank, seemingly hell-bent to slowly spiral inward until the whole shebang gets flushed down the proverbial pippy. In the short period since McCord's sabbatical began, it has become quite evident that without him seated at the right hand of Don, the oft-heralded morning man seems unable to focus on, well, anything, blaming it on everything, from the different microphone ambience to a lack of rhythm in the show's flow. Well, man, it ain't so much the lack of rhythm as it is the lack of yucks. Your program has become broadcasting's equivalent to lactose intolerance. We just can't stomach it. It is obvious now that McCord's newscasts provide the seeds for some of Imus's most inspired flights of comedic outrage. However, with the unfortunate Jane Metzler substituting in the chuck chair, the only outrage spewing forth from Captain Don's cake hole is at her inability to get the facts straight. But it's not entirely her fault. To be frank, Imus isn't getting all that much help from anybody, a fact which she never seems to tire of reminding us ad nauseum on the air. Nobody's getting it done. Not the lame sports geek Mike Breen, the little stooge at the board Lou Rufino, the bald-headed white supremacist producer Bernie, or the fat-headed pantload Scotzo. And it's all a god-awful mess. And finally, without Charles's presence at the typewriter, it's painfully apparent that none of the rest of the cast of characters are worth a shit either, as I'm sure the preceding essay has clearly illustrated. So it is on behalf of all of us, Chuck, that I express our deep sympathy for your loss, but beseech you to return post-haste to fill the gaping void left by your absence. For since you've been gone, we've discovered that there are indeed some things that can suck enough. Come back soon, before there's nothing left to return to but 5 piles of ashes wearing headphones. For Media Watch, I'm Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
Fred, say hi to Charles. He's in Springfield. Hi, Charles. Hi, Fred. How are you? How far is Springfield from El Paso? Not far enough. Well, we'll take a little drive up there. I think it's just maybe it was the next state over. Charles, yeah, I guess it is, Fred. Jesus, God. Why don't I just let you and Fred talk, and we'll just go ahead and do something else and play a Delbert record? Why don't I just go out and find a dog to urinate on?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Charles, is there anything you can do here to help?
I think since he's due to leave El Paso on the 15th and Cedros is going to be out, I have 3 words for Fred.
Yeah.
Port-au-Prince. Think about it.
Well, Fred, I'll tell you one thing, Charles. You need to call in about every 30 minutes.
Imus in the morning.
There's always something special about
Senator Tom Rutherford. Senator Rutherford is this is my white trash brother, Fred Imus. How are you?
Fine.
Oh, wait, guess what, Fred? What? Well, I got great news for you.
I do?
Lou, Fred's going to love this. We have the new Delbert McClinton version of the Beatles come together. What are you taking your headphones off?
He's leaving.
I'm getting out of here.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Delbert McClinton to come together. I sort of like that. I did too. We still don't have time for the entire 4 minutes.
I understand.
Do you like that, Fred?
You know, nobody will have to shoot the other 3 Beatles. They hear that, they'll shoot themselves.
Imus in the morning.
White trash brother.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, you try to stay quality for it. You'll get the best sellers.
I always thought he was great, and he is great. So. It'll be 2 live Jews at 10 o'clock this morning.
Love those sandals you're wearing, I-Man.
Here now, I'd like to comment on headline issues of the day. I'm Washington's senior political advisor, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Ground control to Major Dick. Ground control to Major Dick.
What are you doing?
Playing Apollo 13. What do you think I'm doing? Take a look at this Saturn rocket, J.D. Are we talking Major Dick here or what?
Shut up and put that away.
Sorry, didn't copy that last transmission. Imus in the morning. Like to comply, Dono, but this is the most life little Nixon seen since Big Nixon stopped living. Say, you want to know how it got this way?
No.
Drug testing. The FDA needed somebody to test them, and I volunteered. This baby's the result of my use of Caberject, which has just been approved for the treatment of impotence. Impressive, wouldn't you say?
Well,
I can cut glass with it. Whoa! Rigor mortis wasn't even this good. I'm going to the beach,
stand with my back to the sun and find out just what time it is on this thing.
That will be enough.
Hey, you want to giggle? Check out the disclaimer of the package. If an erection persists for longer than 6 hours, patients should seek emergency medical assistance. Right. Like a 6-hour boner would ever be considered a negative side effect. Forget the doctor. Contact Hugh Grant for a few of the numbers out of that little black book of his.
That will be fine. Can we move on here?
Smashing idea, old chap. As the next target lined up in the curly crosshairs of the old Dick Stoke today is Hugh Grant, or the Englishman who went up Sunset Boulevard and almost came down with a sexually transmitted disease. Who knew the Limeys had more than just a stiff upper lip, eh, J.D.? Jeez, who's managing his career? Joey Buttafuoco? Although, quite frankly, I don't understand all the controversy. Charlie Sheen's listed on Heidi Fleiss's Power Book about 900 times, but you don't see him going on Leno or the Regis and Kathy Lee show to apologize. What's the matter, Hugh? Afraid you'll become the Fatty Arbuckle of the 90s? Say, you don't think his mea culpa has anything to do with the fact that every Politico between Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon has been walking the morality in Hollywood plank, do you? Well, as they say in Hollywood, that is a wrap. Another look through a Dick's eye. Both the Dick and the eye belonging to me, Dick Nixon, dead former president of the United States. That's the stiff brown kind of dead president, as opposed to the crisp green kind you can use to hire a hooker with.
Fine. imus in the morning news time is 11 minutes after the hour, and here now live from Los Angeles, the law correspondent for ABC News, Cynthia McFadden. Good morning, Miss
Hello?
Hi, honey. We're on the air, so,
What are you doing?
thank you for the very nice dinner last night. You know what we had, Charles? Yeah, we had a baked potato. Yeah. With steamed cabbage. What was that other stuff, honey?
Steamed cabbage and kale.
Now, did he put the potato in the front of his pants or his back of his pants?
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
That and the dictum that suggested or that mandates that priests can't get married is holding up Father Tom because he and a bunch of some other boys like to.
Oh, come on, you know,
well,
come on. That's just ridiculous.
I asked Father Tom on this program, wouldn't he like to be married? And he said his eyes rolled back up in his head like a couple of them pinballs up there at Foxwood, and he said, yes, I would.
You know what he'd like to be known as performing your last rites.
Imus in the morning.
Yeah.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Well, for some... It's going to have Mo Vaughn on to talk about that fight that he got in at the Boston Red Sox deal at 10 o'clock on the show.
Yeah. Cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Move on, me here.
Big headline, all the papers, the Boston papers, and Steve's got the deal situation. So, I am Imus in the morning.
Imus in the morning 2024 rolls on. Nancy Lopez set to tee off. Lopez addresses the ball, goes into her backswing, and you the man, right down the middle. The perfect drive for Nancy Lopez.
Women's U.S. Open golf goes right down to the wire. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports. The winner of the 95 Open, Annika Sorenstam, a hot-looking Swedish babe whose one-stroke victory was her first tour win.
Who is the woman who's Joanne Carter?
Big Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God almighty, I saw her, I guess she played in this, right?
Actually, I don't think she did play in it. I didn't see her at all.
Who's one of the other ones?
Lord, speech had gone on long enough.
I'll get off in a minute. I'll get off. I have something to say.
Otherwise, it was a beautiful affair. You know, you're a fine-looking volleyer. You're disgraceful. And the Red Sox lead gets ever so smaller, shall we say, as the Red Sox...
Why don't you plan what you're going to say? Jesus, God. A college graduate sits across from me here. It's ever smaller, shall we say? Joey Buttafuoco is more articulate than you are.
As the Red Sox lost
God,
to the Rangers.
Just an absolute total buffoon.
At Fenway, 5-2, their lead now over the Orioles. Just 5 games, and the Yankees 6.5. And one other thing, racing news. Yesterday, Dale Jarrett won the Miller
of the world, Iron Mike Tyson, and the champ is back.
Well, I went away, and nobody really cared how I felt. But while I was in solitary, I couldn't believe who they got to wear the belt. Mike Tyson's back, and there's gonna be trouble. Hey, la, Mike Tyson. Oh, your heavyweights are gonna start to see double. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. Due to my unfortunate incarceration. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. I'm ignoring all the critics, and I'm going after Riddick. What made him think that he knew how to fight? Ooh.
punch him in there, Mr. Dinky. Hey, la, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, Mike Tyson's back. Yeah, I'm back now. Mike Tyson's back.
Is she really going out with him? Oh, there she is. Let's ask her. Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing? Mm-hmm. Gee, it must be great riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today? By the way, where'd you meet him? I met him at the candy store. Turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture? Yes, we see. That's when I fell for Imus in the morning.
Wouldn't it be great?
Hi, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, but I think you should be a little nicer to that Breen guy.
Well, I'm fine with Bream.
I think he's great. I think he's the best part of the show.
Well, I think he's a very important element.
And enough with these politicians. I mean, give me a break, man.
Yeah.
Although I gotta admit that Anna Quinlan, she's a scream.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
If you gave that stupid phone number for your brother 2 or 3 times less an hour, maybe Breen could get more time.
Breen.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Breen.
Yeah.
This is not working. This is pathetic.
What do you mean?
This is like Rob trying to get a plug for one of his gigs.
I'm Bill from White Plains.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Van Highway Patrol.
So they had the big Marconi Awards at the Bonaventure Hotel in Los Angeles. Where was I?
Not there.
I was not there. I was 40 miles to the south.
Yeah.
At the Disneyland Hotel, inducting Robert W. Morgan into the National Broadcasters Hall of Fame, which is something altogether different. And this was an affair that was attended by 200 or 300 people there. And Ted Turner, you can't get drunker than he got. You can't get drunker. He's
Trying to make
nice
you feel
guy.
at home.
He's a nice guy, I guess, but he gets into this is a radio deal, right? This is a radio deal, right?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And Norm Pettis, who is the, I guess he runs the Westwood One there, the outfit that syndicates us. He's sucked up to Ted Turner more than I suck up to people. So I'm calling the Zen Master today demanding that he get rid of Pettis. We don't need him anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We have enough gays in this company.
Jesus, God almighty.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports, the flagship station for New York Mets baseball.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Well, morning to you, and how you be at 10:04 and 15 seconds on a Monday morning on your fan, New York City. Steve Summers here, and you there, Jeff Hughes, Eddie Scazzeri on the other side of the glass.
Eddie Scazzeri?
No, Eddie Sullivan. Who do you think we're talking? 718-937-6666. It's our morning schmooze until Mike and the Mad Dog at 1 o'clock right here and now on your fan, New York City. You know, I have to tell you something.
I understand your brother Fred will be in town this week, Mr. Lamar.
Yes, he will. Friday.
But when you two are gallivanting about in the discos, I don't think anyone will mistake us for the Baldwin brothers. Two sun-dried schmucks, you be Jesus.
I don't think that's helpful here.
You take away the wig and the plastic surgery, and Fred looks like Helen Gurley Brown in orthopedic shoes, be Jesus. You look like Mickey Mantle's old liver with eyes, you fat be Jesus. I tell you what, Mr. Mart, you better warn Fred not to nap on some park bench while he's here. They might think he passed away from heat stroke. Him waking up on a slab at the morgue or some damn thing, be Jesus.
Well,
and I'm sure you two will have an exciting time here in town, Mr. Mart. Hot down, summer in the city. Imus and his brother Flash and little kiddies. Well, now, isn't it a pity some crackhead hasn't stabbed the Iman in his kitty? Walking around the city looking half dead, peeing on the sidewalk, trying to get some cheap head. You two wild and crazy jackasses, be Jesus.
Cardinal O'Connor, this is just disgraceful.
By the way, Mr. Marn.
Where are the numbers?
There's nothing girly about Helen Gurley Brown, I tell you that, Mr. Marn. Another one of those facelifts, and she too will have a goatee, if you know what I mean, be Jesus. The win phone number.
Oh, okay, let's go to those.
9290. All right. Well, thank God, Mr. Marn. Queen Latifah was unharmed in front of the chicken store in Harlem at 3 a.m., be Jesus. If there's any kind of God, however, we'll hear that Sister Soldier is hit by the drive-by by a watermelon stand in the South Bronx in the wee hours or some damn thing, be Jesus. The take-down numbers is as follows.
I think probably move right to those would be better.
Jesus, where the hell are they? Yes, get this time, Mr. Marn.
Yeah.
What do you call 100 lesbians with rifles?
You know, I
Militia Etheridge. Thank you. The picture numbers is as follows. Militia Etheridge. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 14, 24, 25, 29, 35, 40, 43, 52, 53, 63, 67, 70, 73, 79, 77.
John Cardinal O'Connor here in the Irish Morning Program. Thank you very much.
Which doesn't belong in why?
Oh, I forgot now. Which doesn't belong in why?
Which doesn't belong in why?
All right.
A, the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones.
B, baseball.
Baseball.
C, Imus in the morning. Which doesn't belong in why?
Well, clearly, Imus in the morning.
Wrong, you two-legged bag of fecal matter, you bejesus.
God.
Well, all three are about as exciting as a shoe shine, feature prima donna junkies, and are slowly dying. The answer is A, the Rolling Stones doesn't belong because unlike the other bozos, nobody in the Stones was ever caught in public choking his chicken bejesus. They wrinkled up old budget. You go on ahead.
John Cardinal O'Connor.
Here
on the Imus in the Morning Program. Senator D'Amato is on the phone now, Fred, so...
Why don't you trick him again?
You know, Fred, just get off the phone.
I'll give you... Here, on my...
Here now, the Republican senator from the state of New York, Senator Alphonse D'Amato. Good morning, Senator D'Amato.
He's getting better and better.
Oh, Jesus, I'm going to kill him.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Senator D'Amato, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Good luck tomorrow, and thank you very much.
Good being with you.
Senator Alphonse D'Amato here in the Irish Morning Program. Fred.
You sissy.
What do you mean?
Man,
What do
you weak-kneed wuss.
What do you mean?
Scaredy cat pussy. Why didn't you ask him about Ito, man?
Oh, come on here.
Imus in the morning.
Fred.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Let me 2020 sports.
Fourth down for the Cowboys. This might be it. Aikman with a four-man rush. Sets up. He's hit. He is sacked. Back down. The ball goes over to San Francisco.
A scary day for Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. Good morning. Mike Brain with sports. Yesterday, Cowboys began training camp, and during practice, a 42-year-old woman ran onto the field and tried to get at their quarterback, Troy Aikman.
Well, what does she mean? With a knife or...
No, she just ran at him.
Big deal. It's a
I
woman.
think she wanted him.
Well, okay.
Perhaps in a sexual way.
How did Troy handle all this?
Well, security guards subdued the woman, and she was arrested. Aikman talked about how he handled it.
It's a little frightening, to be quite honest with you.
Troy, Freddy's scared of a 42-year-old woman coming at him.
This is going to be...
He didn't have his shoulder pads on.
But that was the only aberration to the workout. Coach Barry Switzer was pleased with the way the team practiced.
They played with a lot of emotion today.
Switzer a little intense for a July workout, but certainly at least he's motivated and ready to go for the big season.
One of the great guys out of college football, one of the great guys out of college sports, Barry Switzer, along with, who's the, Dale Brown, is that the guy's name?
From LSU.
On July the 2nd, 1953, I was serving time for armed robbery. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping in my cell. I heard a whistle blow, then I heard somebody yell.
Imus in the morning.
On the Imus in the Morning program, the President of the United States, Bill Clinton. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Chris, I guess I could ask you, the bed in that old El Camino wasn't large enough to play football on, so, Mr. President, what was that AstroTurf for?
You're old enough to remember what it was like.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I didn't ever do that. But I don't think I should disclaim it, really. Just leave it out there.
I mean, it's like saying you didn't inhale, Mr. President. I mean, come on here.
No, it's just that I didn't inhale the back of the ticket.